oh, they were just kissing each other there away at the break. It's so sweet and lovely. You miss that, wouldn't you? The butterflies and the first flush of love, and then it all goes downhill and horribly boring and wrong. Anyway, you're right.
It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. Date nights are important.
Really? Well, we'll get to that in a little while. Now, we're joined here in studio by entrepreneur Gavin Duffy, comedian Andrew Maxwell, and Big Brother stars Hughie, Maughan and Ryan Ruckledge. Now, time to some of your text, your tweets and your comments. Alana wants to know, was any of Big Brother scripted? Were they told to say certain things? I'd say absolutely not. Am I right in thinking that?
No, you're not told to say a single thing.
If you're that good at acting, I wouldn't be on Big Brother. I'd be in a film or something. I'd do something more credible.
They literally just shove you in a house and just say, get on with it, and feed you with...
It's all about editing.
Crap food.
It really is.
It's down to editing and down to the people who cast from like 50,000 to 15 or something. So
sure, you know, and they cut out the best bits. You've been victim of it. You've been victim of it. It's just
the stuff that they edited out, I was glad.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Me too.
I don't believe that they can edit you into a completely different person. I think that's an excuse.
No, they can't edit you into a different person, but they can. If you sort of act a bit moody, they can dramatise that and make you look even worse.
Yeah, that can be the only thing that they show.
They can only dramatise what you are as a character.
What you do in the show is a blank piece of marble. They can chip it into a shape.
And they can make it like a big lump or Michelangelo's David.
Exactly.
They can't force you to say anything.
They can't make it a different type of marble.
Yeah, but they can only edit down what you've said and done.
How wise are you? God.
I've had a cup of tea, a couple hours kip. I'm all over it.
And you were in Cork last night.
I was in Cork.
Best gig of your life, I'd say. Now, talking about white lies, Shane says, to spare feelings or lies to kids for safety is fine. Otherwise, lies are not okay. Michael says, I rang in sick to work, so no problem. I'm in the pub watching Midday. Michael, really? You're in the pub, but they start watching Midday.
Don't say his last name, you'll be getting sacked.
No, look, I don't have his surname, and there's many Michaels in this country. I think we're safe enough. Elaine says, everyone tells little white lies sometimes, and whoever says they don't is telling a little white lie themselves. Anyway, keep them coming.
Well,
MD and your comments to 53131. Now, the world isn't ending. All of your body is still intact, and in time you will feel your normal self. What am I talking about? Well, it's only man flu. Now, this condition that hits boys so bad, they seem that death is just about to knock on their front door and nothing will save them. Well, don't give out to me now, but apparently scientists have found that women really do have stronger immune systems than men, meaning man flu actually exists. Now, according to the University of Pennsylvania, their weaker bodies can't cope with bugs that a woman's more powerful immune system could shrug off.
It's
No,
it's testosterone.
Right, okay.
Testosterone Testosterone's an immunoinhibitor.
Yeah. Is it?
So women aren't stronger, men are weaker. Because we have more testosterone.
That'll mean that women are stronger.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to admit they're stronger.
Women have a super strength. It's that men are weaker because our immunities are weaker because we have more testosterone.
So what technically is man flu?
Man flu is normal.
It's just a cold, but
everyone,
you're a bit more dramatic.
Why is it called man? Everyone gets that.
See, you're a little bit different. But like, if you have experienced, let's say I get a head cold or something like that, you rock on. I know.
But men,
people
get a cold, we're dying.
Get the head cold. Oh my God.
Yeah, but Ryan says that
I get periods.
Ryan said he gets a period.
No, I don't actually know.
Ryan tried to tell me I don't
obviously have a period, but I think once a month I actually do get more moody than other times.
But that's the moon.
No, I know I'm being serious. I think
I think you think you're God now. You're answering all these questions.
I'm being serious. I think it was start moody for a couple of days. I don't know whether I've just drilled it in my head and I'm permanently moody at the start of the month, but I think I get periods.
I think you should
he told me that. I thought he was joking.
Every time you're getting it, see what the moon looks like.
So if it's a full moon, you could be a lunatic, and that's what lunatic comes from luna, which is the Latin for moon, which means, and that's why they called women like lunatics and hysterical for that thing, because when their period came and the full moon was there, they turned lunatics.
So if we ever get in an argument now, we'll just have to blame it on a period.
Look at the full moon.
Yeah, you're a little werewolf.
If the moon is full, that's all. That's great.
You're just a little very sensitive werewolf.
Yeah. So
no, but I think man flu refers to
the moaning and groaning.
The fact of life that men, I think, have a lower pain threshold. So once I get a bit of a head cold, Orla could have the same head cold, but I have to lie down and die.
Oh yeah, but when I get the flu, like I'm gone, I'm history.
Yeah, no,
I'm really bad.
Yeah,
it's a joke.
Yeah.
It's really bad now.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm going to die. Like I've meningitis or something like that.
People would have one day off
that's what we call man flu. You know, like it's just the flu, but you think you're going to die.
I've experienced man flu then, without realising.
Yeah, see, like
But then it doesn't exist.
I was in work with pneumonia last year. I didn't even cop by pneumonia.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the difference.
See, the difference is if a man gets ill, that's it. That's it. I'm done. I'm not going
to blame your would that be because you're cosseted by your mammies as well and you're used to it, or you're just weaker?
No, that's probably also true.
There is a sort of psychological reasons for it, that if you go back into the dark ages when man had to fend himself, family, etc. and so on, you do not go into battle on a day you're weak. So, you know, that it's a sort of a protective thing that if I'm not feeling 100%, I'm not taking on the Spartan this afternoon. You know what I mean? Whatever little energy I have, I'll crawl away into the cave and I'll live to fight another day. So there are psychological reasons why we react differently, whereas the carers of the species, you know, if we were to go to our classic gender stereotyping, you know, you're caring for, looking after, and you'll always make a priority of the rest of the family or something like that. Whereas if we're not fighting fit, that's it, the fight's off.
There you go. Now,
I'm going into a dark room and I'm going to bedtime, I'm going to lie down.
So would you agree with it that the man flu does exist?
Absolutely. I think what I'd like to just say is I'd like to thank the women who've suffered us in our lives for putting up with it.
Men just want more sympathy.
Yeah.
That's it. Anyway,
and we deserve it.
We deserve it. To be honest, I was expecting a bit more of an argument with that one.
No, we can't argue. We are wimps, and we admit it.
It's like you said, that's not a fight we can win. We're walking away from that one. That's ridiculous.
Anyway, moving on. You can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family. Yes, there's no better feeling than when someone sticks up for you, particularly when it's one of your relations. Well, check this out. A granddad sent this letter to his daughter after she kicked her son, his grandson, out of the house for being gay. He highlighted that he was disappointed in her, that she had chosen the hurtful, narrow-minded and backward way, and with that he took the opportunity to say goodbye to her, and now has disowned her for disowning her son. Now, this is something obviously very close to both of your hearts. You touched on it a little bit earlier in the show, but even with all the activism, in this country we were the first person to ratify same-sex marriage via a public vote, via a referendum, which is great here, but still, I'm sure you get it from Irish people, still absolutely terrified to come out to their parents about being gay.
I think like everything in life, whether it be race or sexuality or whatever, there's always going to be people that is going to be ignorant. There's always going to be there's going to be kids that will grow up and be ignorant towards certain things. But what I find interesting about that is the granddad is from an older generation that you can, not as an excuse, but kind of say of his times or all that he would know might come across ignorant. But it was his daughter who's younger than him that was small-minded and kicked her own son out for being gay. Actually, that's quite strange when you think about it.
But it's quite strong, it's quite lovely as well, because he's... I mean, do you think as you get older... Sorry, don't mean to, but you're older than you think. But as you get older and you have children yourself, you get a hell of a lot more tolerant of society and the world in general, and that's perhaps why he just looked at his grandson and went, I love him, I don't